Hi, I'm Brett Matich. I'm CEO of Max. I'll just go through the structure first. Right, so we did a placement in March for 7.7 million. We're just finishing off one now. March was done at 26 cents. The placement we're doing at the moment is 60 cents, so it's 2.3 times increased in the value of it. Post-placement, we'll have 160 million shares on issue. We'll have 21 million in the bank, and we've got 8 million in warrants and options that are in the money. The key components here have been Endeavour Silver. We have done an agreement with Endeavour Silver, which basically allows us to increase our land holdings in this basin. In Colombia, you're restricted to the amount of land that you can hold, and it works out with your balance sheet. So we went to a land area of around 500 square kilometres. We want to move to 5,000 square kilometres. Endeavour at that stage holding 5% of the company. The 5%, they'll hold their 5% over the next 2 years. Their shares will be escrowed at that time, and their voting rights go to Max Management. So they put in 1.7 million here at 26 cents. At the 16 million, they're retaining their 5%, which means they'll put in another million. Post-financing, a number of institutions came into this funding. The institutional side will hold 20% of Max, and then there's 5% that goes to Endeavour. And then you've got management and advisors 10%, and high net worth individuals. So we're in far northeast Colombia. The project's called Caesar Copper and Silver. We've been getting high-grade copper grades, high-grade silver grades as a byproduct. We're in a prolific mining area. So it's prolific coal mining and oil and gas. In fact, you've got the largest open-pit coal mine in South America. That's currently owned by Glencore. It was previously also owned by Anglo American and BHP, but they're pulled out of the area in relation to their policies on getting away out of thermal coal. But the infrastructure here is sensational. We've got railway lines, shipping ports. You've got all the infrastructure in relation to moving bulk commodities. Colombia have been pushing this area to have a replacement for coal, which is copper. So there's two non-sedimentary systems in the world. One is the African belt, where everyone knows about the Kamal discovery. The other is Kufa. We've got a combination of both. We had early discoveries up here to the north, which is more like the Kufa style. And then in late 2021, we've had discoveries down here, which is more like the African belt. So we essentially got a hybrid, a mixture of Kufa style to the top and a mixture of the African belt to the south. So we're going to talk, we're concentrating on a 90-kilometre belt. So we'll quickly talk about AM. This is where we had our initial discoveries. So it's a Kufa style, comes from surface, very high grade, get grades up to 34% copper and up to 10 ounces to the tonne silver. And it's essentially a flat horizontal sheet. So the thickness is average between 0.5 metre and 3 metres, which is not necessarily suitable for a junior company because you need a huge amount of drilling metres. Where the difference made is when we come down here to Conejo and Uru, which you're starting to get 40-metre thicknesses here over an area of 2.2 by 2 kilometres, and the Euro concessions down here, where you're starting to get verticals with thicknesses around 10 metres. So they're the two areas we plan on drilling. So quickly with AM to the south, you've got the coal mines here, and these areas, which is over 32 kilometres, is a great target, but we see building up tonnes a lot quickly in relation to what thicknesses we're getting here from Conejo to Uru. So it's a great target, but it's our number 3. So we're just going to show a video here of Conejo. So this is 40 kilometres south of the AM discovery. So this is a drone video. So we're picking up grades on these horizons here. We're travelling now another kilometre. This distance here is 1.6 outcrop 1. We'll focus in on outcrop 1 and also outcrop 2. This is outcrop 1, it's in the footwall. You've got thicknesses here of 40 metres, it averages 1%. We think the grades are going to increase as we go at depth. This is outcrop 2, 1.5 kilometres away. They're extension outcrops, we've got thicknesses here up to 20 metres. This area here is 150 metres to strike. Average grades are 5% copper, which is very high. And again, we're getting the same here. This is slightly to the east. So here what we'll be doing is, we're doing what we call IP. Because of the grades of the copper, it's going to be very conductive. So the IP will give a bit of third dimension before we start drilling. So this is 40 kilometres south of Conejo. So we've got the Kufa-Schiffer style to the 80 kilometres to the north of this. So this is the area we're looking at drilling first. We've picked up the copper mineralisation going for 20 kilometres. I've only put on here grades as low as 1 to 2%. If we start going grades below 1%, we just got too many dots on the board. So if we go to the next slide, so this is where we're drilling. So we're going to show a video down here. It's going around 10 metres at 6% copper, 16 metres. So we go down here. This is the river base. This is open. It's around 10 metres, true thicknesses, around 6%. The drone comes up here another 30 metres. This again is true thickness. You've got 16.8 metres going at 8% copper. It's open-ended. So we think that's going to be something to the 20 metres. Then we come up 190 metres vertical. So we're still picking up the same mineralisation up here vertical. We've sampled along a ridge here. It's not true thickness, but we think the thicknesses are similar. The ridge was 48 metres long, I think it averaged around 5%. So at the moment, we are continuing here, and it's going up another 100 metres. So if you have a look at the vertical side, you're looking at a 300 metre vertical. If you're looking at thicknesses averaging 10 metres, and you've got a strike length of 300 metres, it's still open. So it gives you a bit of an idea of the potential tonnes you can get here of copper because these grades are so high. So this is just an example of a comparison. This is Arizona Metals. It's really hard to find other exploration or other deposits that are getting similar grades to what we're getting. So they're basically having similar grades, but you can see the depths that they're going to. So they're drilling something like to 1,000 metres depth, where our average drilling depth is going to be around 200 metres, and we're looking at the topography of 200 or 300 metres. For what we got, it's not just a matter of the mining costs if you're mining these type of deposits, it's also the exploration. So if you start doing 1,000 metre holes, you chew up your metres pretty quickly. So just to refresh, we are concentrating on 3 prospective areas, the first one being the Kufa-Schiffer style. Drilling on that would be more towards the end of the year because we've got to delineate these feeder targets. Conejo and Uru, at the moment we're doing what we call IP. So IP, ground IP, will pick up the mineralisation below surface, being of so high grade, and then we'll follow on with the drilling. We expect to be drilling in around July. That drilling will continue over the next 12 months. One of the advantages we have in Colombia is when you get drill permits, it's over an area. So you're not having to have a drill permit at every drill pad. So it means our exploration can continue on all the way through the year. The aim of what we are doing here, we're looking at this as a complete sedimentary copper system. So we are doing work to advance it as a system. So our drilling will be wide-spaced and using IP to demonstrate the sheer size of this copper system. And that's really why we're getting so much attention. We own 100% of the project. Having Endeavour coming in, they hold 0.5% NSR, but it means we don't dilute the project. So we're at a stage now where we own 100% of the project. We're cashed up with over $20 million. What we're anticipating is a continuous amount of news coming back over the next 12 months. So if there's any questions, I'll be in question time in the room next door. Thank you.